Bidet and welcome back, critters. Y'all said y'all like this long format to these reactions for Calamity, and I got another one for you guys. I think we'll actually be able to close out this episode, this first episode of Calamity, so this will be a fun one. I'm ready to get back into it, but once again, I gotta throw my hands up to you guys, and because I appreciate you guys with the comments. You guys cleared some things up for me once again, and I know some of the I get so mad when I miss some of these easy details. Like I forget who called it out, but I'm glad that you guys keep me honest in these reactions. I missed the fact that I know I caught it later, but when she initially said that the statue was of her grandfather, I missed out on it because I think I was commenting on, I got to go back and rewatch, but I think I was commenting on the brimstone necklace when she was describing her character, so I just missed out on it. But thank you for keeping me honest. Continue to do that. You guys cleared up now the role for Travis, the unusually high roll, the 31. You guys cleared that up for me a little bit. I'm still getting used to these rules, but you told me that basically the highest or what's typical, I can't even say typical, but the highest is usually a 20, but then the characters also, depending on how powerful they are, so they get bonuses. I don't know exactly what his bonus is, but his roll plus his bonus is what basically gave him that 31. And then also you guys cleared me up on Xerxes, his strength being 29, 9 points higher than a 20 is pretty close to God level, I think you said, but the highest should be 20, and the reason his is 29 is because he has some sort of magical or enchanted item that he wears, which raises his level. So that's interesting. I'll have to pay closer attention to some of these other, I believe Aaron Levitz, you cleared that up. You said they're called not levels, but stats or scores. So I'm still working on you even said something like a stat dump or something like that for Grog. So I'm still getting used to the phrases and the terminology in this world. So you guys are helping me along with that tremendously. You also let me know I'm having a hard time picking out my favorite character. I know it's still the first episode, but now that we've been introduced to all the characters right off the bat, I feel like my favorite is Travis or Sarit, because of the plot he's connected to and his investigation abilities. I'm having fun with that, so he's the one that's most intriguing to me. Next would probably be Xerxes, but I'm digging all of them so far. And you guys also let me know that Travis is probably the biggest cheerleader as far as it goes to reacting to things that happen during the game, and that's definitely come through between him and Lou. You guys also mentioned Liam as another big cheerleader, so I'm looking forward to seeing him when we jump into campaign 1 and 2. But nonetheless, those are my favorite characters. We're gonna start talking about it because I'm ready to get back into this episode, back into the story. The plot is thickening. Let's get back into Coachella for Wizards. Shout out to you, Ade. Okay, so everybody's just showing up at the table now.
Take it.
And kind of hidden away in like an archway that's kind of got this open room with a few other kind of windows that can see out to the rest of the party. Hanging ivy and vines with a little like water fountain embedded into the far back wall. There is a nice little round table and some like booths on the side. You know, it's cushy.
I don't know if it's because I take breaks in between watching these episodes, but I don't know if I'm ever not going to be surprised by the amount of description they go into describing these scenes. I love it.
The table for those that are already here, as you walk and see Nidus and Loquacious already seated, you can hear as their mouths move just the rustling of ivy leaves. As you walk in and take a seat, and you feel a little
where's that damn griffin at?
Not imposing, but a little wash of divinatory and abjurative magic. Just a little bit of, are you who we think you are? And if not, maybe I do something about it.
Cool.
But all who walk here are their honest selves. And as you sit at the table, beautiful charcuterie board set in front of you.
That was charcuterie?
All you look
Okay.
out, protected in this ivy silence, with all of the power of the flying city of Avalier at your disposal, you look out at magisters, deans, and provosts of the flying city, apprentices of the Ring of Gold, and 6 people who actually get shit done may finally, after a long day's preparation,
These
have a
epic
moment
ass characters.
to celebrate.
Nice. I hope they actually get to celebrate this night and nothing happens. And by the way, Maya, thank you for clearing up the ley lines. You said they're not actually like railroads. I kind of knew that, but you did a good job of describing it. They're more like magic that they repurposed and used as railroads for the cities to travel on.
You go over and you see that there is a Hadmadad holding a small tray of drinks, and you see Bolo's there saying, "I need drinks from you, not this." And you see that the Hadmadad's like, "Listen, I only have a small list of pre-programmed responses. I'm not actually sentient. So if I'm saying this, you know that you've asked for something that's not included in my brain."
I gotta remember all these things. Hadmadad is the thing that carried in the tree, right? Like a robot of Nidus's.
This bag is giving me a hard time.
I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't get your name.
Bola.
Bola.
Bolo.
I am Sarit Agrupnin.
Okay, I thought it was Bolo, not Bola.
Bola from...
Aor.
Bola from Aor. Mysterious. If you need anything, please don't
I love his
hesitate to ask.
accent
Can
for
I
his
escort
character.
I
you?
need the drinks.
You need the drinks.
This bag keep arguing with me.
Yes, it does. I hate it when they do that.
Can you destroy?
Something so ridiculous. I love that they just keep it going, and he's just playing along.
I can sense your frustration. I'll be sure to take this up with the maker of this fine machine. Let me see what I can do.
What do you mean machine's bag?
Yep. I'll be back. I'll be back. Hood up.
Dip out.
I make my way down through the thing. I go over to Loquacious. Who the fuck did you come with?
A blur of gold comes by. Who the fuck did you come with? Take back off to go find them.
You don't need to, Laren. She's just some arm candy that was offered to me.
Arm candy. She threatened to expire the help.
Too sweet. It's gonna be a fun night for me then.
I'm gonna grab that champagne in your hands. No, I stay.
You've had a little bit too much, Loquacious. Even though he made the decision to bring it before he started
We're
drinking.
just getting settled. And look at this, the first replenishment for the ring of brass. Feels right.
That's a good point.
It's a momentous day on a lot of fronts, but I feel like there's news to share.
Is Xerxes even going to say anything? I feel like he's just out of his element at this table, or at this party in general.
Before we do, though, perhaps a toast to our friend Xerxes as his first...
Oh, that's right.
Putting him on the
First,
damn spot.
night officially, going into a replenishment.
To the first
So
night.
hopefully
The first
many
night of
more.
the first night.
I had a drink. It was taken back.
Sorry.
Thank you. I would like to toast those that are not with us as well.
Oh, yeah, because she gave it to him before he got to the table, I think.
Who should be here in this place, in this position of honor, and who would have been handling that entrance with a lot more grace than I certainly did. But thank you all, my friends. I appreciate you.
His legacy will be long-lasting.
Well, let's hope so.
I want to see that damn strength in action.
I'm
can't
afraid
wait.
I'm gonna have to cut through the pleasantries. I'm not in the best of state, and I almost didn't come, but something feels amiss to me. And I've come here to actually seek out the two of you.
Hold on. Oof, been a minute. And I take that like lethargy effect where I'm like, hold for 6 seconds. Okay, sorry, what was it?
Um,
You just magically refill Aaron's glass of champagne.
I had a bit of a nightmare of sorts last night, I suppose. Maybe it's my anxiety for coming home. Maybe it's some nerves that I have from reunion.
Oh, is that why Elias said, I won't look the same when you get back home? Because a lot of time has passed. He's a lot older. You guys told me he's 13 now. Last time you saw him was when he was 6, I think.
Evandrin was in my dream, and in it there was a fight of some sort between, I can only say, the gods.
Oh, damn ads. I'll be right back.
The father of the Dawn seemed to be trying to extinguish
Just
what I
another
can
name
only
for
say
Dawn
was
Father,
one of the
right?
betrayers.
Oh,
Does this mean anything to anybody other than just perhaps a bad dream?
Sounds silly to me, frankly.
Dreams can be deeply interpretive, Xerxes. I mean,
I wonder if they're
perhaps it
hiding
is
what they
your
actually
anxiety
know.
of the two colliding
they just really don't
forces
know.
of Avalier reuniting.
Felt
Or if they've even
I
heard anything
understand
like it
that the
before.
gods don't mean much to me. But one was begging me for help.
One of the gods.
The fallen one. The betrayer.
He did say a human wouldn't offer to help him in the first place.
they're not here though. Not like the others that walk around.
What's special about Xerxes?
Just
I know that.
What did this betrayer look like?
He was red.
And horned.
And, I think maybe I couldn't remember if it was because of the way he was lying down, but I just recall seeing the side of his face and maybe one horn. Maybe if there was another one, maybe it was broken off. I'm not sure. I'm not remembering it so clearly, but I do remember something that was said.
Going back in his notes. Nice.
Gordranus.
I almost forgot about
Draconic.
that.
right here.
I do.
Ooh.
Throw it up, let's go.
I knew you would. The Gathering of Shadows.
I take it this is all part of their bios, whether they speak Gordranus or not.
It
Or Gordranic.
doesn't mean anything to you right now. Anyone here who would like to may roll. You can roll history. You can roll Arcana, or if you have, are listening to your very troubled friend who you know is in a state of emotional turmoil and just want to roll an insight if you're not about.
Insight.
You said history.
Who wrote it,
or-
Larry?
Arcana, if you're like, okay, let me take him seriously, or insight if you're
Did
like,
Travis just get another high one?
I'll do
12 for history.
12 for history.
I mostly think it's emotional, but I will think about, like, these words feel more like relevant.
Yeah.
Which would you want from that?
If you're thinking about the words themselves, any of those intelligence skills, I would take religion, Arcana, or history.
I'll do Arcana then.
Do Arcana, yeah.
26 on insight, and I just want to glean.
He's done 2 rolls and been over 20 each
Talking
time.
about something else.
29 on history.
Let's go.
Sheesh.
22 on Arcana.
Also 22 on Arcana.
I was gonna say I didn't think anything over a 20 was common. Does this typically happen?
Okay, so for our, we'll start with the.
Or are they just
22s
beast
on
rollers?
Arcana.
These damn dice loaded.
Gordranus is it's draconic. You would know from the Arcana check there that the term Gordranus, it is like those are the literal meaning is gathering of shadows. Words have connotations, right? And that's one of the hardest things when you're adopting a second language is to learn like the idioms, and it's like, what's the
Like the
if you don't
mannerisms of
speak
the
English,
language.
what's the difference between a hearty welcome and a cordial reception? Emotionally, like those words don't land the same. Dragons aren't scared of much. Gordranus, those words mean
They hit
the
hard.
connotation is an intense one. It's the kind of words that dragons would use to describe something they were scared of.
Okay.
With a 29 history check, an incredible history check, the name Gordranus comes to you from a very specific place in history. It's an ancient text from the Schism. This is a text from when the primordials. So there's a lot of stuff about the Schism in the Librarium Incantatum, right? Because the founding of Torremunda has its root in the Schism, right? The Torremunda was founded when the Emperor of Fire and the Empress of Earth, that were two mighty primordials, were laid low and sealed forever away by the Dawn Father under Mount Igora. And it was in the guise of that mountain that eventually the druids of the Gaudrashari came and built Torremunda, tending to this holy place. And over time, those druids tended to it so well that other people came and sought them out. And then eventually it grew into a city, and that city eventually attracted wizards, and those wizards eventually
and these
took the
druids
top of that mountain and sailed away.
I think one of you described it as like they take magic from Avalier, or when they travel through, they bring back magic for the druids and pay it kind of as like a toll, if I'm understanding that correctly.
There was a threat made in the epics of one of these battles during the Schism by the betrayer gods. It's attributed to different ones in different texts, but the text that at least, who knows, reliable, but the most detailed text that you remember from your encyclopedic knowledge of all of the scrolls of your library and all the tomes therein, is that it's often attributed to the Lord of the Hells. And it is, and it was, Gordranus is, it's just a very specific wording that he said in the battle of his defeat in the Schism, when he was sealed away, where he said, like, put me where you will, in darkness I will gather my shadows to me. Wow. And Gordranus, in Draconic, the literal, so you're like, oh, that's some like specific verbiage. It's, again, 29 is a super high roll. So that's you going like, well, that's literally where I've seen the words before.
Right, right. It's like pulling a certain phrase out of...
So if it would have been a lower roll, it would have been a more vague explanation of where it originated from, I take it?
26 insight.
Yeah, he's seen so much. How shook is he compared to his life experience?
This Arcana stuff, you know people. That's what you do. You are a detective. You solve mysteries. Xerxes barely could stomach walking into a room and getting attention. The idea that this dude would pop off on a, like, I had a dream that scared me, to his, like, peers.
And just open up right away.
Unless it was the realest shit in the world, is laughable. In fact, I would send a 26 insight, and you can roll deception against it if you want, but if you are trying to be honest in this moment.
I'm not hiding anything.
You know the fact that he's telling you about this dream means there's 20 before that he didn't tell you about. Like, the straw's already broken the camel's back.
This was just the boiling point, so he had to break.
Yeah, you can tell that there's something that was being contained that now can't be contained anymore, and it's gotta come out. I don't know what it means, and I'm coming to you because normally taking to the skies will clear my head, and I can't get this out of my head. And I saw my son in the dream, and he was 5, which I know he's not now. But
how old is he now, by the way?
He's 13.
13. Okay.
Okay.
He'll be 14 in a month and a half. And I don't know what he looks like.
Oh, that's right. You haven't seen him since...
I haven't seen him in 7 years.
Yep.
Was the last time you saw him when he was 5?
No, he was about to turn 7.
Oh, okay.
It's the last time I saw him briefly, but Look, I don't want to. I don't. I know that there's other matters that we have to attend to, but I just wanted to gather.
So I guess that comment about the age was a little bit of a spoiler, but I don't mind it.
Pasha explains what the DM just explains. You know, perhaps
Ditto.
this vision of the devil-looking man. Maybe he was the Lord of the Hells. Maybe you're having some sort of deeper connection with that moment in the schism.
Maybe. And you know, I don't know.
Does it have some type of relation to whatever magic enchanted item he's wearing, or
Could be. Maya's 7 now.
or using? I don't know if it's a sword or what item it is, but
It's strange that you mentioned where the shadows gather. There was a crime scene that was reconstructed from Vasselheim. Some of the language and symbols that were used there were both
everybody's sharing details.
celestial and infernal. Strange to see both. Not my thing, but unusual.
This is recent?
Very
Who would
recent.
have the most info on that? The
You remember
wizards?
of course, the matron
So
that
Laren
ascended.
and
Many
Pasha?
have tried to duplicate.
Sure, yeah. We've told that story.
Yeah,
sure.
there's usually just SpaghettiOs all over the wall.
This is the second time Vasselheim has come up in conversation for me today. I was hoping to actually ask you about it, but
Go ahead.
seems there was some sort of happenings. I heard rumor through the grapevine that there were some artifacts
no,
stowed away
she's talking
here
to
in
Sarah.
Avalier
I got to
on
kind of
Vasselheim.
pinpoint where everybody's sitting, so I know exactly who they're talking to
They
without
mentioned
saying
that
their
someone
name.
from the Ring of Silver was asking about them, and I could only assume that that was you.
I'll say, you not only have heard about people in the Ring of Silver talking about this, Loris was from the Ring of Gold.
Does any of this spark my memory or any thoughts of something that would be familiar?
I would add this. Usually if it's a failure, not a lot of
There's
people
a
are
body
interested
left,
in
or?
things that don't succeed. But where there's success, or some remnant of it, that can draw a different crowd. The Ring of Silver, caring about this,
Well, as you know, the Library Incantatum has a deep vested interest in any type of extraterrestrial knowledge that should not be in the hands of dangerous people. So many people.
perhaps it's just timing. I think there are a lot of things that have to line up in order for something like this to work.
But it wasn't successful. Most of these, as you said, aren't.
I wouldn't be the one to
Wouldn't
weigh
bet
in
against
on that,
it.
but
How would you know about it if there wasn't something left over? Like, if there was nothing, then no one would know that anything had happened. So there's something. Is there something?
Oh yeah,
indeed, and
what he
I
showed
didn't want to
Xerxes.
detract too much from our champagne,
on.
but okay, there's a bow. I pull out from
The rusted
behind my
one,
cloak,
right?
tucked in between where my wings are, the half of this rusted, patinaed bow.
Can I look at it?
You sure can.
You can. I wanted to get Xerxes on this, but take it, okay?
Yeah.
I look at Dice,
Did she lick it?
just knowing that he has seen many an artifact.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it as well.
Hell yeah.
Also, I'm sure approaching.
So yeah, do whatever rolls you want to do, and if you want to do something like angled towards like whatever kind of roll it is that you want to, whatever you're looking for specifically. But yeah, you see a piece of badly corroded metal, pretty heavy to the touch, and again, it feels in a place full of so much magic a little bit extra mundane, if that makes sense. Go ahead and give me Arcana rolls or.
I wonder who this bow belonged to. It might be a weird question, but a metal bow and arrow seems somewhat unique. I typically see or think it would be wooden. I don't know if that's anything, but that's just me overthinking.
And I guess I'm more interested in the bow itself, origin, like the actual magical item, its origins, less what happened to it afterward.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
I got a 24 in Arcana, inspecting it with the eyes of someone who runs the engine that breaks down magical artifacts constantly to like fill the batteries.
As she's sort of looking at it, I'm just gonna do something that I've done to her hundreds of times, but not in a while, and just sort of
Persuade her.
just gently rub her shoulder and inspire her.
Is that like
Throw some bardic inspiration on that roll. Go.
I was gonna say a little. That's like a bard's technique, right?
When you make
Or
contact,
charm,
I think a little
so to
bit of her
speak.
perfume kicks up, and it smells like a silverin violet and petrichor, which were the flowers at our wedding.
Aww.
Oh my god!
These two.
We're all good. Okay. High five.
Adorable.
Hell yeah.
Finally,
29,
something under.
incredible.
Damn. I was about to say something under a 20.
There is a moment. I think both of you are looking at this, right? And studying it for a moment, and I think Xerxes, you say the thing that kind of cracks it, where you do your divine sense and give everyone a hand into this. You're not used to seeing something like this, but the first thing you pick up as you guys start to inspect it is for something this mundane. You've never experienced something like this. You reach out
Like
with
a
your divine
feeling?
sense. It's non-magical. It's a rusted scrap of metal. And normally, things divine presence kind of keeps a pace of their magical signature. This thing is utterly non-magical. So you're like, well, I might get
Just like a
whiff of
trace, a small trace. Usually.
powerful divine energy, specifically celestial.
Put it down, 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 put it down. Put it down. There's something's going on with this. I'm sensing a very powerful celestial energy inside of it.
Is she still older?
Magical shit all day long.
I don't think that's magical.
You don't want
made
to
of
argue
other
with her. She'll always
Other stuff.
She'll say she
I like other stuff.
As
Well, then put your eyes back on it and tell us what you see.
as you look at it with that arcana, we'll come to the 29 first. So the first thing, because I think you also get a piece of information from Nidus. Nidus, you take a set of like master like tools out of your thing. You hit this with like a tuning fork that you have that you use for it to like okay, it's rare metal. What's the metal? It makes a weird note on the
vibrate
metal
with-
on the fork, the one you go for the most often, which is gold, right? It makes the right noise, but there's a weird tenor to it. And as you look at it, you look over. The fragment of this bow was at one time 12 feet tall.
That's a epic bow.
You
Or
can guess exactly.
bow.
what
I
this
mean,
is
I said
because
bow.
All of you watch
Did
like
it
Nidus, like,
belong
listen to this
to a
tuning
giant
fork.
thing?
This is made of gold, but it's not made of gold from any mine on Exandria, because this is gold wrought from the heavens themselves. This is extraplanar gold. You are what your dear friend Laren is holding is the former bow of a solar, which is a type of angel.
Ooh, like an
It
archangel.
is the highest angel's direct
Have
servants.
I ever seen anything like this before, or
Damn.
You have to go through a process of elimination in your head to get here. There are jokes from like back when you were on like a pirate crew back in the day. Like there were jokes about different kinds of gold, and someone used to talk about there was some cleric that like ended up being captured by the ship briefly before they could get like ransomed back off to their clergy. That was talking about like bows of pure
Angelic
gold wielded by
gold.
solars, and a bunch of pirates would like laugh about like if I could ever get my hands on a bow of pure. Like so in your head you're like this is extraplanar gold from a bow, and just you're familiar enough with all objects of great value that you're looking at the curvature and you're like this if you complete this curve, it only makes sense in a bow.
If it goes for another 6 feet.
Yes. Right, exactly.
I think you guys watch Nidus hit this thing, and just for the next minute, it's just banging it.
Incredulous.
Am I seeing this right? Am I hearing this right?
Not good.
Nidus!
Explain to us. We're in the dark.
Is of the heavens themselves. This is the bow of a solar. 12
Does anybody
feet in
else
length,
know what a solar is?
pure celestial gold.
I love his excitement as he
With
explains
that
it.
information,
Or shock. I don't know how to
29.
describe it.
you put together the pieces that you've been given. Do you think that Sarah would have shared the forensic stuff from before about the nature in which this was dispelled?
Yes.
Laren, you look at this. This, as Nidus speaks, and you know exactly what to imagine in this place, you realize the reason you have a fragment is that the bow at its center must have been shattered. And the only thing I can say is that incredible arcana, as you feel as tough as the last few years have been, the reassuring presence of Loquacious nearby, who is himself more than a mortal man. You look at this thing and realize it was shattered. In your head, you immediately go to Mage's Disjunction, 9th level spell, something that could have destroyed that. You look and look and look at this. You know how to look for the residue of a spell. Something deeper and older and more profound than a spell happened. You know for a fact that nothing Vespin Chloris did or ever could have done what happened to this.
So Vespin is the green
So
guy we saw in the
question
trailer,
everyone
right?
immediately goes to is, Vespin didn't do this, so who did? Because when he tried whatever he tried, perhaps very quickly there was someone or something else in the room with him. And its mere presence took the weapon of one of the heaven's mightiest warriors and shattered it without effort.
Two things
So-
happen sort of simultaneously. Even as Laren explains that to the group, she begins to pocket.
Could it be a
harder.
betrayer
And I want to ask
god
you,
working with him to break down the veil? I don't
the
know.
rules for interplanar travel usually require a bit of metal, something that you can attune to where you're headed.
Yeah.
Would this count?
It has lost all of its innate magic, but spell components rarely need to be magical. This would absolutely work for that.
And I think even as she explains it, and is very fearful and kind of gives you a furtive look at what could be powerful enough to do this right away, she can't help but smile. That she has the last thing that she needs.
Announcing the champion of the Matron of Ravens,
Ooh.
Pervan Sul! And you see walking. You see
Important figure.
The reaction to the table.
Travis, there go that damn hype man. I love it.
So we get a good look.
you see
So this is Purple Lady,
walking
right?
through the doors of the Palazzo Porco. A young man, long dark hair, light brown skin, a severe, grave expression on his face.
Oh, is he introducing her?
This guy.
Oh, this guy.
You see?
Wait, wolf.
He's
Wait,
got
what?
a wolf with him.
What? What? What?
Walks into the party and hush, goes over the gala as in this age of Arcanum, a champion of the gods has walked in. What a quaint and wondrous thing to behold. The man who walks in bears terrestrial mud on his black leather boots. He walks in the stoic countenance of a ranger, and you see beside him a black and gray wolf stride in.
So
He looks
ranger,
around
that's what
sullenly.
Vax is, right?
A mantle of raven's feathers around his neck.
Oh damn, this dude sound like a damn badass.
He's not clad in armor, though.
You do not see him clad in armor.
Oh, interesting. Oh, of course.
Of course, what?
Shit, okay.
I'll tell you after.
Hey, why would any kind of special armor be needed in this wonderful age of Arcanum?
Sure. Yeah. He's just a guy.
He's just a guy. Walks in.
What's
and
in store for
you
us?
See this young man walk in. I will tell you, out of game, truly, this guy's like probably like 7th or 8th level. He doesn't. He's not glowing with tons of. He's not. He's not.
We all know who he is?
No.
Ah, okay.
This guy got requested from somebody. You see that.
You're 7th or 8th level
Madara
now.
Glyph
What
walks
about
up
when he
and
gets that
approaches your
armor?
table
Or if he
and
gets that
gestures
armor?
to you, Xerxes, and says, "My lord, Sir Ilrez, my apologies. I wished to introduce you. There's quite a curiosity here. A terrestrial champion of the matron of ravens has arrived, and I wished for him to meet Abelia's."
Yes.
Okay,
of
so
course.
this isn't the matron of ravens. It's just the champion of hers.
I will be right there.
If I'm understanding
one
that
moment,
correctly.
please.
Very well.
I don't want to show that we're so earnest.
Of course, I meant only to say because he himself is a champion of the
course.
the Raven Queen.
Yes.
Okay,
And of course,
got it.
our champion draws on divine source without, of course, needing any deific intermediaries. So,
I will make sure that,
That damn grin he got on his face.
and she
So amped.
she wanders off.
Can I snap for 2 habadabs?
Yeah.
Clean the man's boots.
Tracking mud all over the place.
Right, you are, sir. And you see, they issue habitats. So you see this guy walk
See, just
in,
stuff like
look around
just
kind of
stuff like that. Small
sullenly
details is
at
what's
everyone
making me
here.
love
And two
everything
brightly
about
colored
this.
magical
It just
scarecrows
ties
come up
everything
and
together.
Start mopping his feet, and he goes, "I beg your pardon," and starts to like move. You see. The Galdrick like snarls
Oh, the
at the
wolf.
Hodmedans.
I was about to say,
but
what the
also
hell?
Galdrick is like, do I bite this suit of empty clothing that's floating around? So
Well, this is such a weird turn of events. We've got god stuff going on left and right here. Now there's a god guy in your house. And here's my takeaway from all this. I don't know how it's all related, and I'm desperate for you all to figure it out. But one of my new sponsors is the Market of Wonders, and maybe I could get them to sponsor like a 2 or 3 article series about you know, how the gods are among us or something like that. You know, the wonders of the gods meet the Market of Wonders or something like that. I don't know. I'm spitballing. I'll keep working on it. You guys figure out the nitty gritty of the connections.
It feels like it
I love
could be
how deep
something.
into his character he is.
There was something, the celestial, the prophecy sort of sensation you're describing in your dream does make me wonder about, should we consult with the hall? Is it the Hall of Prophecy?
Hall of Prophecy.
The Hall of Prophecy. I mean, the oracles there might be able to help illuminate some of the meaning of your
Well, I
dreams.
heard they're taking a little 24-hour respite.
I was
They're
asking if he
tired
was
or something.
somewhat of like a prophet.
Why didn't I hear that?
I don't know. Actually, I was going to ask you there, and they heard They're just not responding.
Laren's trying to cram that bit of metal into her clutch. Stupid tiny bag.
To Loquacious and Laren, it's strange that you haven't heard that the Hall of Prophecy.
I'm sure Loquacious.
It is close.
Who has like a secret bag that you could
I
fit
was
like
just like,
big
you know,
stuff
I don't
into it, like
understand.
bigger than the
You
bag
just
looks?
wait
I think that
another
was
24
Scaling
hours
actually
till after
in
the
Legend of Vox
replenishing to
Machina.
take their little vacation.
That's what
But
she
also
need.
the prophets, when they take a day off, they would know about it in
Is there a
advance.
precedent for that? Has it ever happened
it's
before?
weird.
There is no precedent for this.
All right, well.
Well, we should probably go and check it out.
Yes, we should.
Us ourselves?
Well,
Yes, I mean,
Well,
I have a lot to say with regard to the
Yeah.
replenishment
We
and
should.
other things, so...
We should.
Well, I want to go and have a word with this champion at least.
Oh, yes.
sure. Do you need some backups? Do you need
I
some...
would like some extra eyes.
You gonna
in
take
case
Sarah
you
with
notice
you?
something that I don't.
We'll all stand nearby, kind of in a loose circle.
Let's surround him. Actually.
Pretending like you're not paying attention.
Yes. Yes.
Don't break eye contact with him.
I wouldn't mind knowing who invited him in particular, unless you know, Paisha.
Yes, he's a guest of a member of the Silver Ring, Magistrate
Yes.
Hollow.
Or this is the Dean Lycretia Hollow.
Jean Lucretia Hollow.
Like Aisha.
Dean Lycrejalo, and what is their area?
What's her title?
They are the Dean of the Throne of Necromancy.
Okay, well, of course, that would be the one to invite him. I'm going to then step outside of our little field.
As you all go over to approach, I mean, it is a curiosity, certainly. You see,
I'm surprised he was the
Lycretia
one to
Hollow,
step up
along
and
with
investigate
Madara
rather than
Glyph
Sarah.
and the Magister Micah Cormorant, Speaker of the Fourth, have all sort of gathered around this young man, Pervan Sul. And as you approach, you can hear the Magister say, "Surely some great distance traveled on foot, no less. I can't imagine. It's quite a journey. And how long have you sworn this devotion to the Radiant Eminence, the matron of ravens?" Pervan looks out and goes, "Many long years have passed in the service of the Raven Queen, my mistress.
Many.
I have come to speak on matters divine to the Septarian."
Of course you have.
You see that there is a ruffle of polite laughter, and this guy looks pissed and sad at the like look of sort of derision. You see, he says, he's like, "I understand that the Septarian is the ruling council of Avalier. Is this not correct? My understanding is that a number of artifacts may have been brought herein to the city." You see, everyone sort of looks around, confused at each other. He says, "The Septarian is what I must speak with."
I'm going to approach and try to break this up. And
I was about to start talking shit, so let's get it.
Now let her talk shit.
and I kind of got there in time to overhear some of this, and Xerxes is kind of stroking his beard. He has a beard, and in the front there's like one tightly braided, longer kind of lock, and he's kind of stroking that as he's taking in this champion, and steps forward and he says, "Champion of the Matron of Ravens, yes."
You see, he bows his head respectfully to you. First Knight of Avalier.
First Knight of Avalier, yes. Shall I escort you away from your audience?
You see, Madara looks and says, "Sir Ilres, please, well listen,
I say, Madara,
And you see that she looks off. Pervan looks at you and says, I appreciate the offer. I would ask if I know that you serve the Septarian directly.
Damn.
You see as he speaks, Galdrick kind of nuzzles up against his leg. You see
is he
that
speaking
as
down to
Madara
him?
goes silent, Magister Cormorant speaks up. And you see he says, Champion Pervon, and you see Pervon looks over and says, "You may refer to me simply as Champion."
Oh my god.
And you see that.
Damn.
He says, "Well, I think it quite telling that you should know that our first knight, Xerxes, is a wielder of divine magic, with no devotion to any deity to speak of. He has mastered the ability to call upon the divine simply as a champion of the people of Avalon. Perhaps,
I'm watching
yeah.
Pervin and just wanting to see how all of this lands on him. I'm not even looking at the magister that's talking.
Pervon is sort of taking it in. You give me an insight check if you want. Yeah.
Is he staring back at him? Are they just making eye contact?
17.
You can see Pervon is deeply uncomfortable and does not wish to be here. You see that
kinda like
Magister
Xerxes.
Cormorant simply says, I simply think it interesting. You know, there's been so many upheavals in recent history. You yourself, the champion of a new deity, and our champion not needing a deity whatsoever. And you see there's sort of some polite laughter.
Amongst the
You see like Paisha Hollow looks over at you, Paisha, and says, it is so striking, champion, that the matron of ravens ascended to the heights of divinity, but saw fit to, of course, erase her magical research. We live in an age in
Didn't
which
she replace-
knowledge, as our Keeper of Scrolls can attest
Like
to, is
I forget
shared.
exactly what she replaced. Like
Seems
the,
rather
like the god of
interesting
death
that
or
the greatest
something like
arcane
that.
achievement of the age would be erased. Feels somehow not in the spirit of the age.
Who's saying this?
This is Dean
Lycratius,
Hollow of
right?
the College of Necromancy. Pervon looks out and says, I do not care for this conversation, nor to continue it.
Dang.
It's the only conversation you're going to get, so maybe you pipe up.
Uh-oh. Well, there she goes. She talking a little bit of shit. She don't hold back. I like it.
The knowledge won by my mistress was hers and hers alone, and hers to do with what she willed, and she did as she willed in her ascension and in the acts to follow. I serve the goddess of death. And you see he turns and walks away. And you hear
Laren's reaction.
Dean Hollow call out, she is still one of us, though, is she not? And he stops here. Says, she was one of us. She does remember from whence she came. It is not their world any longer. Why would she not welcome us behind her? Pervon leaves the room.
Can I start applause?
Starts applause, and the entire
I use
Nobody else
applause
follows?
to mask a message to Pervon, and I say, if you wish to hear more, meet in the room behind the vines.
amazing. Cool. Pervon leaves in the direction, Xerxes, that you pointed.
Great.
What is everyone doing right now? Like, in this sort of applause, as the dean of the College of Necromancy
Paisha's headed to the vines, right?
effectively claims a member of the prime deities as still being on the home team.
Laren is going to like start walking for the door, but I do use my my bracelet to send a
She gonna call
sending
somebody?
to Nidus. I need 4 automatons in the heart right now. I have what I need. I have very little time.
Oh, yes. Is buzzing. who's the I grab a hobgoblin, and I just write down 4 automatons to heart this instant. This needs to be in the hands of Alessandro as quickly as possible.
All right,
Do
you
the
awesome.
Habadods understand this?
He rolls
Okay.
into a ball of fabric and flies out the window.
I know he said they have like a glossary of things they understand. I wasn't sure if any of that would be misinterpreted by them.
And takes off into the city. Laren, you head off to the heart of the city, I assume? Incredible.
Walking out?
I'll send you a sending on the way out that just says thank you and take off.
Incredible. So I am what I need to do because it seems like there's a big moment at this party. People are scattering.
Yes.
There was some talk about the Hall of Prophecy. Pervon is still sort of like walking away in a state of religious offense, right? So you're heading to the heart. Where else is everybody headed?
I do want to ask Dean Hollow one question.
Yeah.
After he sends off Pervon in a huff, I'll just have to have him said.
Or this is sorry, like Lucretia Hollow is a woman.
Oh, sorry, like Lucretia Hollow. Thank you.
Okay, cool. That's what
I'll
I
just,
thought.
approach and say, "Well done.
I was calling her like crazy.
You represent the city well. I find it strange that you would care so much about anyone replicating what the matron did. No one has ever come close to such a feat, correct?"
Give me an insight check.
Let's go.
Another high roll for Travis.
23.
It's pretty damn good.
Wait a minute. What's
He
your,
said
what's
not
your
the
plus to
best.
Insight?
13.
You've been spoiled.
So she looks at you and says,
Actually, I have a. Wait a
Yeah.
minute. I have.
yeah, she
Another
looks at
bonus?
you and says, I'm sure I haven't the faintest idea. And the ring on your hand glows.
Pulses.
Oh my god!
Go.
Cool as fuck.
There it is. There it is.
Fair. Very fair. I hope you enjoy the champagne. I'm sure there's lots of it.
You walk away seeing the silver circlet around her neck, marking her as a member of the Ring of Silver.
Can I pull Pasha for a dance real quick?
Oh, that's so good.
We adjourn to the dance floor, and I say, Pasha, I must ask. You know that I am happy to make allowances for certain members that are perhaps not entirely recorded in the guild's records, of course.
You need not remind me.
Yes. Though I must ask, everyone up until this point has been someone of influence and someone who I was happy to do a favor for. However, today I was visited by Magister Cromwell.
This would have, I believe, this actually was Milus'
Oh, yes.
friend.
Milus' friend. Today I was visited by a low-level Magister Milus' friend asking for the same sort of allowances that I've been giving out to members of more esteem. So I must ask, have you been offering my services to members so low as he?
Do I recognize his name?
Give me a history check.
Well, my history's okay. 18.
Oh, wow.
Circle's been breached. Milus' friend's not one of yours. There might be some people who need to forget some stuff.
This name does not ring true in my head in the slightest. And I know everyone.
Well, and I'm going to spin her away.
Be gone.
Walk away pissed. Who the fuck is this guy?
I'm going to go get 4 automatons, for an additional 4 automaton. Head back to the vault to get 4 more automatons, and follow. Head to the heart after later.
now.
Amazing.
I'm going. Well, there's the 4 that are going now. Hopefully the fabricator gets, and I'm going to make sure we get 4 additional.
Yeah, just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah, smart.
Redundancy.
Redundancy, incredible.
No intercept.
The guild you take off on a palanquin.
Are they worried that
of,
Milas
automata
might intercept?
rushing through the city.
One last thing.
Yes.
I write Xerxes a message that I'd like to speak to him before we land, at some point.
Okay.
If you're heading out, you pass by me at some point because I'm trying to follow.
As am I.
Message seems
Cool.
risky.
So you guys see
you need
Nidus
one of
after a
them
quick
damn
dance
bracelets.
with Pesha is rushing out, surrounded by automatons. You see there's a couple of of Harvest Moon soldiers waiting for you outside as well.
Yes.
They begin to swoop around you and make ready for some kind of business. And you do see Xerxes and Loquacious on your way out.
Xerxes. Yes. Brother, I wanted to say that your forthrightness has done us some good. You are
Some
a
good.
brilliant first knight,
Oh,
and in the position you deserve.
Well, thank you, my friend. Let me see if I can prove your words right. As
I wonder if he's the type of character that needs validation.
We need to.
If he questions himself a lot,
I'm gonna
I'm
catch
sure
up to
we'll
this
learn
guy.
more as we
And
go.
I
But
have business of my own.
maybe he second guesses
Xerxes,
himself
keep
a lot
up.
more now that he's having
Cool.
these.
Guildmaster of the Golden
dreams
Sight
or
takes
nightmares.
off to go grab automata. You're like going through Excelsior Square. It's a zoo. It's the eve of the replenishment, and you're like fighting through Excelsior Plaza to get to your automata. You rush down back to the heart of Avalier with a fragment of extraplanar gold. You two are rushing off after Pervon, right?
Yes.
Pesha, you've just found some news about a little breach in the circle.
So as Pesha
Who's
is
going
still
after
at her
Pervon?
party, standing under
Sarah
this
and,
immaculate tree that
Loquacious.
Nidus graced my presence with. And she's just kind of standing there, and it's like one of those shots where she's still and everything is buzzing around her in fast motion, and she casts Detect Thoughts, and she's like ice cold in her face, just kind of almost like the fixture of this party. And
Is she
she's
still
just gonna
thinking
go
about
bing,
Miles?
bing, 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 and just bounce around and just like listen. Yes.
Go ahead. I'm going to ask for an investigation check, and I'm going to ask for it with advantage.
All right.
With advantage, what does that mean?
I'm going to set a pretty low DC here. You got the psychic power.
Weak.
We're gonna need that low DC.
Weak. Yeah, thank God. 12.
What's DC?
Was it that low?
That low.
Level 14.
You begin to move through the party. You're looking for somewhat like I think you like zero in on Madara Glyph. You're like, you've been annoying the hell out of me recently, and you see her like,
Zone in on.
to love a gala this way, and you see you're like zeroing in on her. You're listening for someone. You're like, where did the circle get breached? Somebody here talked when they knew they shouldn't. You hear a voice.
Is
in
it
your
that
thoughts,
damn
but the voice
maintenance
is
guy?
quiet, like it's someone whispering to themselves in their own mind. Do you turn to look to see who it is?
I just kind of look in the
Or
periphery,
peek over the shoulder.
barely tilting my head as little as I
Not to
can.
be too
As
obvious.
little as you can. You see a wobbling Hadmadad who has stopped serving drinks. Just sort of wobbling there.
Was it malfunctioned?
Not my little
Nidus,
scarecrow.
this your damn fault.
700 of them.
Sort of wobbling there. It's like not serving. See the tray kind of lists to one side and comes back. And you see, with your detect thoughts, these are automata. They're not sentient. Listening through detect thoughts. Godranus. And you see the tray clatters to the ground, and the Hadmadad disanimates and is a pile of clothing on the floor, soaking up the champagne.
So was something controlling it? Or just
I'm going
speaking
to,
through it or listening
because
in
I've been
through
keeping
it?
track of not
Like,
just,
was
Dean
the-
Lucretia Hollow,
was it,
but also Bo
like,
the
hacked?
chest, and an automaton just dropping into
I
fabric on
imagine
the
I
floor.
would make eye contact
Yeah.
with Sarah and be like, go. Like,
Yeah, break on it.
Like,
yeah.
Break on it. Cool. You go grab that Hamadad, sweep it off the floor. See a nearby mage is like, looks like that Hamadad's having a little too much to himself. Evelyn! And,
That's my best friend.
this is his best friend. Nothing's gonna cramp my style. You see,
we see
you grab the
cameos
Hamadad,
of that guy
take off
throughout
into
the whole
wings.
damn
So, Excelsior Plaza,
miniseries.
into the heart. Run off into a back room with this disenchanted thing. You're still sort of holding court here. We cut to our two outside, following Pervon.
Sir Sul, Pervon.
Champion.
He turns to look at you when you say champion.
And I meet him. I'm not running. I'm not trying to make it seem like
I'm
you know.
running.
Yes. But I'm stepping towards him with a sense of authority.
Yeah, Baldrick, you see the wolf. The wolf steps around and goes. The wolf growls a little bit. He turns around and says, turns around and says, "May I help you?"
Well, I've come to ask that of you.
Please don't leave in a huff. Some of our allies back there, and I don't even want to say allies. Some of the other guests were rude to you, and
Arrogant.
we just came to apologize.
Go ahead, Loquacious. Give me a persuasion check, and with Xerxes at your side, go ahead and give me it with
Pay for
advantage.
his bard.
Maybe
Score.
with advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, 29. First one was only a 20.
Pervon turns to look at you and says,
So is advantage an extra roll? So you rolled a 20, then a 9? Is that what happened?
"In a nest of vipers, gentlemen. I cannot speak highly of my experience thus far in the City of Crowns."
Well,
City of Crown.
you're mistaken at least on one count. This is not my home. We are approaching it. And I'm ready to have a very different kind of conversation with you, if you are willing.
So does he claim
Speak your mind
Kathmora
first.
as home?
What brings you here? You seem to have come with some urgency and some concern.
I've come into the awareness that my mistress feels a concern. Something is moving upon the face of Exandria. Something that for the moment eludes even her sight. Her counsel brought me to Vasselheim, but my search was drawn short when I arrived at the sanctum of Vespin Chloris.
Did you meet him?
No, he had gone missing.
How many of these people have met
You arrived at the
Vespin?
site
Or do
where
they
he
just know of
attempted
him?
This rite?
Here you see Pervon looks surprised. You just said something Pervon did not know.
Oops.
Ooh.
Cast Gift of Gab.
A spell, nice.
I take it back.
Yep.
No shit.
Rewind.
Yes, yep.
You see,
Missy Elliott.
so
You've been waiting
so in
yet.
other words, that is the vision that you have of the future that is quickly drawn back, and you see he goes,
So Gift of Gab is like a rewind spell.
"I cannot long remain in this place. My heart belongs back in Isilra. There are still answers waiting for me in Vasselheim. I came here to attempt to find reason amongst the mages of this place. There is precious little to find here.
You may be incorrect about that. The mages can be helpful, but only if you know the way in which to approach them. We can help in that matter. If you give us some information, we can pass along to them.
It's like a liaison.
Be a conduit for your matron.
I came to Vasselheim in search of answers, and I believe some answers may have come aboard your city back during its stay there.
Objects.
The auguries which I used brought me here, but with little detail in the way of what I sought, so I came to ask the aid of mages. What I can tell you in this moment. Here he stops to consider what he honestly feels like sharing in a city that he has some reason to distrust. He says, "It is the belief of my mistress that something very reckless may have been attempted. Many have sought to recreate the miracle of my mistress's ascension.
I think you guys referred to that as like becoming a
It has poured
godhood
over them all,
in the
at least
comments.
for those powerful enough to begin what they could not finish. It is my belief, based on the counsel of my goddess, the Archmage Chloris attempted something wholly different. Not a recreation, but something new. Something much riskier and more foolhardy.
Riskier than an ascension to godhood?
Bringing.
The god of
Is he
death
breaking down the veil? I don't know.
that ruled over that domain, whose name my mistress sundered and removed from the fabric of reality itself. What
You're trying to bring it back.
complaint could he offer for his own demise that would not be hypocrisy? God of death, dying can hardly be said to be an aberration.
That's a good
It is
quotable.
my mistress's belief that Vespin did not orient his attentions in the direction of any of her or the counsel she keeps. By which I mean to say that she has already conferred with each and every one of the prime deities. None of them felt an attempt on their domains or any of their power, and yet a ripple was felt.
Aiming for a different sort of a god.
We can imagine no other directions. If divinity was sought, and none of my mistress's counsel could offer insight, I need not tell you there are precious few options left.
So his objective was to obtain magic
I will tell you this, friend.
or some type of power, but none
Hopefully,
of the sources that contain that
I
power
have not
felt his
given
presence.
This
Is that what
wisdom
he's saying?
foolishly. You understand the implications of what I now tell you. If we are correct in what Vespin's focus was, then it is deeply troubling. The lack of sight into what may occur. Even more so.
Forgive me, champion.
I like that he called him
I must
champion
implore you to speak plainly.
instead of Pervin.
They're not in riddles.
You can tell that now he's really
What do you
invested
think
into it.
happened? And tell it clearly, please, so that I too may be clear on it.
Chat.
Every
or
mortal
roll?
mage who has attempted to recreate the Raven Queen's ascension has attempted to do as she did.
Right.
Ascend
Yes.
to a prime deity, strike them from their throne and take their place, erasing their name. Vespin is a better mage than any other who has attempted, and we know that he did not commit that same folly.
He didn't try to take their place.
We do not know
He
for
bypassed
certain
that?
what happened, but having removed what we know did not leaves us afraid.
Okay. And just so we're clear here, I would be comfortable with like a one-on-one sit-down interview, exclusive. I could get some really great illustrations made.
Good
of
luck
you.
with your pit of vipers. I truly wish that we all may come out from under this shadow. And
Free
you
advice: change your first name.
you see, he goes, it's normal where I come from, and you see he
It just vanishes.
He turns his wolf vanishes in a blur of magic as he, in
Nice.
a movement of raven's wings, vanishes and disappears.
Pick up one of the raven
Dope.
feathers that fell.
Of
Needs a
course.
PR makeover.
He left quite the impression. What I don't understand is why he didn't just say that he attempted to ascend to the place of a betrayer god.
He's not ascending. He's descending. He's trying to awaken a betrayer god and
To take their place.
awaken them somehow.
Awaken them.
Yes. Yes, give them some sort of volition to break free of wherever they are. I don't know. Do God knows what? Well, God knows what, huh? That's hello. That's a good title.
We're going to cut from here. So, thankfully, you guys have scattered the party, which is great for me. Love that.
Are we almost over
Sarah,
already? Is this almost
you find a quick
No, we're good. We got 8 minutes left.
room to yourself. Quiet, off to one side, small chamber in the Palazzo Porco. As you look at the Hadmadad disanimated, what do you do? Like, describe to me what it is you want to do.
So I have an ability that allows me to an eye for detail. It allows me to make a perception check to spot a hidden creature object, to make an investigation, uncover, or decipher clues or anything that might be hidden. So I'll spread it out on the floor.
Yeah.
But then take a step back above it. My crest starts to feather out, and I'll take a look just at first at what I see, and then push in closer.
You take a look closer here. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okay. And I'll also,
Come on, Travis, give us another 31.
just because, I'll also use unerring eye.
Oh, so you
which
can
allows me to
use
sense
more
the
than
presence of
one.
illusion shape changers, not in an original
the same
form.
time.
Other
Okay, I
magic
wasn't sure if it was
perceive the
limited.
senses within 30 feet. So investigation. Oh Jesus. Yeah, that's a 30.
Oh, yeah. There you go, Travis.
That's a dirty 18. Yeah.
You look at this Hadmadad down on the ground, disanimated. Something's wrong. And on a 31,
You see everything. You damn
You're
near that's a
alone in this
raven.
room. Invisibility is a pretty beloved power. It's easy to get. Even very junior mages can master it. The problem with
Junior mages,
invisibility is light is very important for a
Like
number of
reflection.
functions. And no matter how cloaked you might be in it,
You can see like the
can't
shimmer
make
of.
your whole self invisible. Even if it's smaller than a pinprick, you need just enough of your eyes to stay visible that light can hit them and you can still see. Now, perceiving a fraction of a pupil hanging in space, smaller than a grain of sand,
Damn.
would be beyond most
Damn.
people.
That's what a 31 does? God damn.
You've been trained to look for them because they always move in two.
Unlike your eyes.
You look up in a mirror in the chamber, and you can see behind you, smaller than grains of sand, there are two pupils.
I go about my normal business.
Just to pretend like he hasn't
Bring my
noticed
eyes
it.
down from the mirror. Continue with the items. And I will slowly reach under my arms and unsheath
Oh, the
both of
axes.
my hawks.
Hawks.
And
Nice.
as fast as I can, I'll spin and not only draw both of the hawks, but my wings come out.
Hell yes. For the first time in this
Okay,
campaign, go ahead
okay.
and give me an attack roll.
Nice.
And you can go ahead and give me a stealth. You don't even need a bonus action for it, but give me a stealth.
I just
to
realized
see
that's
if you
something
can
we haven't had an
hide the
attack
drawing
yet.
Of the axes.
I guess we've.
21
This is still
for
episode
stealth.
1.
Copy that.
Okay.
Go ahead and make the attack roll with advantage.
With advantage. Oh,
Okay, so advantage is just the extra roll.
It's
Okay.
18 both times, so a 25 to hit.
You absolutely hit. You are going to roll sneak attack on this.
Oh shit! Okay,
Sixes.
Is that 8d6s?
it's 76.
7.
76. That's all foreign to me, but you guys will explain
Okay,
it.
so that's 24 points of damage.
You rolled 1 6.
No, I know I did it because I mean I could do 7. You know what?
No.
No. You know what? I have.
He said, "Now keep that."
Yeah, come on.
Let's hear the noise.
Never rolled this many fucking.
Let's go.
Do that math. Do that
15. 23. 25 points.
Nice, nice. One left.
You whip around. You see where the eyes are, so you don't need to even see where the neck is. If the eyes are that far apart,
Right in between the eyes.
right there.
Oh, he's going for the neck.
The first thing
Damn.
that becomes visible is the blood hitting the wall, and you hear the drop before the spell fades.
Ooh, just the thud of the body.
This person went from being invisible to being dead and didn't have time to register what was happening.
Do they stay
You see a
invisible?
body materialize out of invisibility. Chunks of skin carved off of a shaved head. Lips carved off of a face.
What?
Wearing rags covered in infernal runes. A mortal man who nonetheless is stitched together with orange irises and bloodshot eyes staring out of a dead face.
What just
You
happened?
hear behind you from the mirror.
Oh, God,
Reach the wild mother's embrace in time. Are you looking for something? You turn around.
How do
and
you respond
in
to
the mirror,
that?
you see a shape in mist, swimming in the fog, in the mutilated face of Vespin Chloris. Reaches forward, hits the other side of the mirror, the glass cracks, and the face is gone. And the crack
Mutilated
remains
face.
as you see your own image behind the shattered glass in the reflection.
And his feathers just
that's all
sticking
for
up
this
like
episode.
he's terrified. Oh, that's I knew it was gonna end just like that. Oh my goodness! Does it just literally cut off? Or are they gonna do an outro?
Should I do more of a? Do you want me to do more of a story?
I'm gonna have to rewind a little bit because I was looking at Brennan. I was glued to Brennan that whole time. I didn't look at everybody else's reaction. I'm gonna have to.
There you go. There you go. Is it Tuesday? Oh, I love it.
You evil bastard, Brennan, you. I love it. That's episode 1. We finally completed it. We got 3 more episodes left. I think they're all 4 hours except for the finale. I believe you guys told me that one's 6 hours. So I'm looking forward to getting into those. The mutilated face of Vespin. There's so much. I'm trying to learn mechanics of the game, names in cities, and just random names and automatons and hodmodods and riding mechanical camels or whatever they're called. I forget, but there's so much stuff I'm trying to take in. I'm trying to dwindle down exactly what to focus on so I don't get too lost on the story or the things that actually are leading the story forward. So I think I did decent this first episode, and you guys did a hell of a job keeping me in line through this. This will now be, what, a 4-parter for this first episode. And like I said, thank you guys. I know I was stubborn at the beginning, reacting to 30-minute episodes and uploading them for you guys, but I know it takes a while for these to render, and like it takes an hour and a half to react to, 3 hours to render it, and then another 3 hours for YouTube to upload it and then check for like copyright stuff like that. So it takes some time to get these out to you, but it is so worth it reacting to these longer episodes or longer increments, and I'm just glad you guys are enjoying them. Continue to hit that damn like button. I know you guys said I can't overwhelm you. I'll see if I can upload, or not upload, but react to more of these. I kind of want to get into this next episode and then maybe save it on the Patreon, or maybe upload a couple more in the week because you guys are loving them. So I appreciate you guys once again. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Get ready for episode 2. That was a hell of a cliffhanger. Even though I'm just glad I don't have to wait till, or actually have to use that phrase, is it Thursday yet? Because all the episodes are there for me. So I love this first episode. My introduction to live streams or live gameplay, and I loved it. I think you guys, or most of you, probably watched my reactions to The Legend of Vox Machina. If you haven't already, go back and watch them. But like I was saying last episode, I feel like I kind of enjoyed this more than the series. I know it's early on, and they're both their own entities, so you enjoy them in different ways. But this one in particular, the slow build of it all, and as well as all the detail, like I said, I don't think I'll ever get over the amount of detail that they put into describing each situation, detail, character, places, and just giving you that imagery to kind of think about, and as they're progressing the story forward. So I really appreciate that. I love this, and it makes me, even though we got 3 more episodes left of this, it makes me even more excited that we got a bunch, hours and hours and hours of campaigns to still get to. I haven't even thought about what order. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna start with, because I want to get the full experience. So I'm thinking campaign 1, 2, and then whatever the case may be after that. But we continue on this damn road to Calamity. Stuff is getting good. It's getting what was the phrase they use? I forget. But basically this ain't gonna be all sunshine and lollipops. This shit gonna get dark, and I'm ready for it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, share it if you want to. I will catch you in the next reaction. Deuces.